What up, YouTube? It's your boy Dan, a Lakers fan, and I'm coming to you guys after yet another roller coaster ride where the Lakers this time decide not to show up defensively, and we lose to the Minnesota Ricky Rubios. I'm just kidding. The Minnesota Timberwolves. We lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves 104 to 119, which was not as bad of a game as it could have been because we fought back and we kept it interesting for the most part of the game, even though we did end up getting blown out in the end. But there were some positives, like always, and of course some negatives. The negatives, of course, being that we played horrible defense on certain players, like Mr. Ricky Rubio, who went off for a career high, disgusting 33 points that weren't even entertaining to watch. Just wide open shot after another wide open shot. Didn't even take much effort. At this rate, I feel like we give scrub players career highs every other night, and that's a problem. The Lakers shouldn't be known as that team where teams could just come in and say, "Oh, we're playing the Lakers tonight. Guess what? Why don't you go ahead and have a career high Ricky Rubio because they don't play any defense." Or whatever no-name players like JJ Perez, always some bust, some bum player. No disrespect to JJ because he's actually a pretty good role player, but they're not star players. They shouldn't be dropping 33 points on us. So yeah, we lost, and not only that, gotta give a shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns that he absolutely looks like one of the top centers in this league already, and he's barely in his second year. So that kid's gonna be really good. Wiggins, he was okay tonight. He did drop a quiet 27. And for the Lakers side, bad news, guys. We lost Ivica Zubac to a high ankle sprain. It might be the end of him this season. We might not get to see him before. He might not recover in time because it takes some time to recover from that. And you don't want to rush him back since it's the end of the season. We're not really playing for anything anymore. But yeah, we lost our inside rim protector and our inside presence, right? That's why guys like Towns and Gorgie Jiang were able to have their way with us tonight. I feel like one thing that really bothers me about Julius, and I'm going to harp at Julius because even though he had an okay offensive game, he doesn't do the little things, and he's getting inside his own head. He seems really frustrated. Maybe he's been reading comments and getting on social media, but there's a lot of people online that keep saying trade Randall, play other guys like Thomas Robinson, who by the way played great tonight. I'll get a little more into him later on in this video, but Julius just needs to do the fundamentals, and that's getting rid of the ball instead of over dribbling. I hate that move where he passes it to the offensive guy and then he sets a screen right after. Like, that's going to be 9 times out of 10 that's going to be called an offensive or a moving screen, I'm sorry. And so little things like that, like, dude, just hand the ball to the guard, cut, get open, set screens, do other things, but don't try to be the primary playmaker when you have guards on your team like Clarkson and Russell who can play make. By the way, Clarkson had a good game. It wasn't a great game. I saw some things where he could improve in, but 18 and 7, I can't complain. Russell had a subpar shooting night, but he was still found ways to be effective by getting teammates involved with 6 assists, 14.6 assists on 4 out of 14 shooting. So I'm not mad at his game tonight, even though, again, there's a lot of things he can improve on when he's having off shooting games. Ways to be effective on the court without being too much of a liability when you're off with your shooting, right? But I like the fact that he maintained aggressiveness and he kept looking for his. Thomas Robinson was really impressive tonight. Just like he was the other night we played the Los Angeles Clippers. In limited minutes, he's putting up big-time stats. And I like this kid a lot because he plays hard 100% of the time. Whether it's on defense, offense, or just hustling for the ball. Whatever he's doing, diving on the floor, fighting for the loose ball, whatever. And I can tell he gets on the player's skin. Like the last time we played the Clippers, Blake Griffin and him got into it. And it took Blake Griffin out of his game mentally. And he struggled a little bit, and while Thomas Robinson thrived, he looks like that type of player, kind of similar to Dre, who they thrive under pressure, right? And they like to, turn up the heat when they're playing their opposition or their opponent or their position, the person they're guarding. And I really like that. He's gritty. We need more guys like that. We have David Nwabas like that. We have Corey Brewer, and that's how you build a tough identity by adding players like these. You build a pretty tough identity. Sorry about that, guys. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, but anyway, that's how you build a tough identity, right? By adding people that are gritty and tough and they play on both ends of the court, and hopefully the younger players pick up after that. Corey Brewer looked pretty good in the limited time he played. I love vets like that because, the great young players, they pick up little things um, from their veterans. And I really think Ingram can learn a lot about Corey Brewer. They have similar body types. I expect Ingram to, of course, bulk up a little bit more. But as of right now, they have similar body types. And I have noticed that Ingram has gotten a lot more aggressive when he's on the court. Of course, tonight he was out with the same injury that's been plaguing him for the past couple of games. But Corey Brewer is a perfect example of how Ingram should always stay aggressive and attack, especially in transition. And if Ingram could take that from Corey Brewer's game, plus keep improving his jump shot and his free throws, then he'll be a surefire all-star, right? But I love the aggressiveness of Corey Brewer. I love it. Defensively, he's always harping on people too. That's another thing that Ingram needs to learn and take away from Corey Brewer. Because, I mean, believe it or not, these players, when they practice, they go at each other, and they have similar body types. So, and that's where they learn and practice. You don't learn during games, although there is certain situations where you do learn during games. But most of the time, where players improve is practice or on the summer when they're working on their own games. And I really, really, really want Brandon Ingram to get in the gym, and I hope Corey Brewer, can help him out, give him certain tips, pointers to help him improve. And that's what he said he was going to do when he came to the Lakers. So, like I said, great pickup. I think that's the reason Magic Johnson brought him over. Same thing with David Nwaba. Maybe he can teach Jordan Clarkson some little tricks of the trade of how to be aggressive without committing fouls and stuff like that. But we'll see. Another guy I haven't really talked about today is Tyler Ennis. I gave this kid a nickname because he's being a real menace. I call him Ennis the Menace. And he's been a pest. He keeps penetrating and finishing inside, and he's hitting wide open shots. So I really like what he's doing in limited minutes. Like I said, I think this kid's a keeper. Hopefully we extend him to like a 2-year extension on the cheap. You don't want to overpay players like these because, again, it's still early and they haven't shown you enough. But so far, I like what I see with Ennis the Menace. But back to Tariq Black had a great game as well on the hustle end, and he was just finishing everything around the basket, and he just kept giving us second chance opportunities. So I love the way Tariq came in when Ivica Zubac. Hopefully Zubac recovers quickly, but if not, I'm happy because Thomas Robinson is going to be the primary beneficiary. I mean, I feel like we're too stacked at the power forward position, and unfortunately Thomas Robinson, even though he hasn't warranted, because he deserves to get playing time, he is the odd man out. But that's why a lot of us believe that Julius Randle's expandable, because sometimes it really gets me frustrated how he doesn't contest shots, or even on rebounds. He doesn't do the little fundamental things like box out. Sometimes it's almost like you have to get him involved offensively in order for him to cooperate. And that's kind of sucks, to have in your power forward. You want them to play their roles. It's more of a guard-driven league, and unfortunately, I hate to say it, sound off like I just want my guards to thrive, but you gotta let your guards run the offense, and you gotta play through them to succeed in this league, right? You don't see Blake Griffin over dribbling and turning the ball over, even though sometimes on the break he'll do something fancy, right? But like I said, I don't like Julius Randle over dribbling and getting sloppy with it. I like him to let the guards get him in his offense. And he's much better when he's catching and shooting. He even hit a 3 from the corner tonight. And he's much better when he's playing through Clarkson, Russell, whatever guard is running the offense out there, Tyler Ennis, whoever. So, that's why a lot of us believe he is replaceable, because he tries to do too much and yet, he doesn't produce enough. So when you see a performance like Thomas Robinson's and you wonder, well, this kid, you can re-sign him on the cheap. Maybe Julius is expandable, right? Then you have Larry Nance there too, who's also worthy of starter minutes. So I don't know. I would like to see Thomas Robinson get a lot more playing time. I feel like he's deserved it all season long. When Tariq Black and Robinson were out there together, I called them TNT. They were dynamite. Both of those players were really, really good for us. So I'm kind of shocked that over the time they haven't gave Thomas Robinson, but like I said, it's because we're stacked at the power forward position, and he is the odd man out. But overall, guys, I was pleased with our bench production tonight. I continue to like what the bench is doing. Ennis, Waba, Corey's starting now, but he's really a bench player. I like that we're building a bench going forward. And eventually, I think Jordan Clarkson will be the sixth man of the year type of player, coming off the bench. I just don't see him as a starting point guard because um, neither him or Russell take care of the ball well. They turn the ball over too much. So that's why they're both combo guards, right? They can handle a little bit, but during the course of the game, other point guards start figuring them out defensively and taking away little things, right, that to take their comfort away. That's why I really want Alonzo Ball. But anyways, guys, like I said, we collected another loss, and it's been a roller coaster season. It's almost over, 7 games more to go. It's been that kind of season where we play a good game, then we play a bad game. We play a good game, bad game, good game, bad game. And it's been like that. I predicted in my last video, I was like, I wouldn't be shocked if we have a bad game versus the Timberwolves. And we did. So now I kind of expect us to have a good game on Saturday versus the Clippers, but we'll see how that goes. They whooped us last week when we played them. But anyways, guys, leave a comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you guys thought of the game. Your thoughts and opinions always count. And I'll definitely catch you guys after Saturday's game versus the Clippers. By the way, that's a back-to-back. So Clippers, and then on Sunday, I forgot who we play, but we play Saturday and Sunday. And hopefully the Phoenix Suns win tonight. They're playing right now versus the Los Angeles Clippers. So hopefully they get the W. That way it creates separation in the standings. Anyways, peace out, guys.